Afternoon, everybody. Sorry, my microphone was in the wrong place. Just realised I was just about to start speaking and the microphone was flipped over the other side of the desk. It's not working, is it? How are you all doing? All good? Not particularly exciting morning again, was it? But not too bad. Hopefully you got into some positions that we looked at this morning. Quite a few opportunities this morning. So we'll have a quick look at where we are at the moment now. Just give it a couple of minutes for some more people to jump in. Let me know you're there. Stick a hello in the chat. Going to do a bit of futures this afternoon. I'm going to start using my Apex account because it's been sitting there dormant since November. Because I didn't want to trade it in December in the run up to Christmas. Yeah, thought better do something with that. Hi Rahat, Diamond. So it's a good time, I think, to maybe start getting into the futures account because we've had a whacking great pullback. So hopefully we'll start looking for longs.
Incoming mail.
So, oh, sorry, let me just turn it off. So, yeah, sorry, where was I? Bihar, good evening, sir. Kindly explain logic for any trade. That's quite a broad question. I'm not sure I can answer that one. But that's what I do basically is look at my setups and obviously get into them. So, right, it's got a few in here now. So this morning got out of Euro Swiss, stuck a trailer on this, that one there and that one there. So that was my very first position that I got into back at the beginning of January, on the 5th of January, and obviously scaled in as we pushed up. Got out of all of those there, took a couple of extras, got out of one there, got out of one there. And so basically the last two positions from there and there exited today. So now flat on Euro Swiss. That one's all done. Got into New Zealand dollar yen this morning. Single entry. So nothing particularly exciting on that. So I've got that one on at the moment, and I've got a Euro odd on at the moment. Just single entries, so that Euro odd's just going into profit at the moment. But that's all I got. So that's what I've taken this morning. Check the website for the background and all strategies. Yeah, cheers, Diamond. Yeah. So yeah, Bihar. If you want to learn, if you want to know anything, go on the website. Marketstructuretrader.com. There's a section on strategies, all the indicators I use, loads of free videos. Go there. You'll find everything you need. So let's have a look at where we are. ADRs today, been quite a few. Obviously, we looked at these this morning, and a lot of these were already started to play out. But obviously, some of them were still ready to get into. So I don't know if anybody took any of these today, but we'll run through all of these. So Aussie dollar Swiss pushed down to 125, 150 even. And we got a nice retest and push on that one. So that's worked out fairly nicely. Got a really nice extension on that, 150. Anything 150 is really the sweet spot. I love 150 extensions and above because you tend to, if you can get down to there in one big strong move, you get that really big strong push back out. Diamond waiting to see Euro odd will crack below this area of support. We'll have a look at that one in a second. We're going to have a look at that one. Aussie dollar yen. So that bounced straight off of ADR. That one hit ADR this morning in the Asian session. So you would have had an alert on that in the Asian session. And then it's obviously just kind of sideways in London. So we haven't really gone anywhere on that one, which is normal quite normal for Aussies. So that's pretty good. CAD Swiss, ADR hit again, reversal alert, pullback. This one's still coming down though. So these Swissies, you just got to be very careful with these Swissies because the Swissies on a mission. It is faltering now. So London, obviously, we put in a really big, strong move, and now we're sort of going into a consolidation. So the Swiss franc's taking its foot off the gas a little bit, which is good. But it's obviously had a very, very big, strong move. Just hit ADR on the pound yen as well. We'll have a look at that one. There's loads of these. We'll quickly whiz through them all. Euro odd. Big, strong push to the upside. Obviously, I've got into that one this morning. So retest and drop. So that one basically we are moving on. Not really gone very far, obviously. We just put the lovely M pattern in, but we haven't broke this support. So this area here is held up, basically. So we need to break that today, ideally. If we can break that, we'll be good to go down to the downside. So we'll see if we can get that that break today. Euro odd. Where are we? Euro pound. Still pushing. So we cracked up really high, 175 on this one. Euro's been on a mission. As you can see, we've had really decent movement on the euro, which is nice to see for a change. But any euro extensions to the upside, I'm all over them short. So this one's still going, mainly off the back of this pound weakness we've had in London. So London hasn't been very happy about the pound today. Obviously, you can see the weekly ranges and now ADR on the pound yen being hit. So pound's got absolutely hammered. Probably something to do with Boris. I haven't been watching the news, but instability in government at the moment. News-wise this afternoon, we've got... we had Lagarde obviously speaking, which has helped with the euro. This afternoon we've got the CAD. Oh, sorry, we've had the CAD 130. As expected, negative retail. So core is really what we look at. So 1.1. So as expected on that. We just got Yellen speaking. So there's no other news this afternoon, like news afternoon today. So yes, pound. Sorry, where were we? Pound, euro pound, don't we? Euro pound, big strong push up. This looks really, really nice. If we look at this one on the higher time frames as well. So we've had this big strong push today. We've just come out of this consolidation and drop, and they've basically rejected the lows down here, and we're pushing back up again. This is mainly obviously pound weakness, coupled with the Swiss franc strength that we had, which pulls the euro along with it. So yeah, this is looking really, really good for a reversal, but I'd just be a little cautious with this at the moment because of the fundamentals going on in the UK. This isn't a knee-jerk reaction, I think, but there's loads of targets to the downside to aim for down here. Lots and lots and lots of areas that they will probably want to come back and retest if we're going to find buying support here. So this area here where we initially pushed down hasn't held at the moment. So it does look fairly bullish, but 200 ADR, when we get 200 ADR, we know we've got a drop coming. So yeah, this one looks like a really, really nice short. So I'll be watching this one this afternoon. I've got my euro odd on already. I haven't got any pound exposure on at the moment, but we'll have a look at the RSIs in a minute and see what's best to take. I'll probably look to try and get some pound on as well. So euro pound, euro New Zealand. We had this big push up. We nearly got the 200 ADR and we nearly hit resistance. We didn't quite get to it. Let's come out to the daily so we can see what we were aiming for. This level here is where we looked at. We didn't quite get there, but you know, resistance and support is an area. Yeah, you don't go to the pip all the time, so I'd class that as pretty much done. So this has come really nicely off the top. Unlikely we're going to get this all retraced today. You never know, but I wouldn't imagine we're going to get anywhere near it. So really nice reversal alert and retest. Beautiful retest there. And at the moment we're just kind of coming into a symmetrical triangle. So we're going to break out of that. one way or the other. So if we break to the downside today, look out below. It's the euro. It comes down a lot. So that looks pretty good as well. Euro New Zealand. Anything that's extended above 175 is a fantastic opportunity, because obviously it will be extended as well on the hourly, and quite often on the 4 hourly. If we get extensions above 150, they get extended across multiple time frames. So it looks good. Pound odd. I think we looked at this one this morning. Yeah, this was the ADR high hit today. Had the reversal alert in Asia. Missed it really. We looked at it down here, didn't we? We'd missed this one already, and it's come down beautifully. So a bit late on that one. US dollar yen has also hit its weekly range. We've got some yen movement going on by the looks of things. We'll look at those in a sec. Pound Swiss. Still coming down. Swiss franc is still going. The pound is obviously... Swiss franc has weakened a little bit, but the pound is still going, and obviously it's weak against Swissy, which has been strong. So this one's absolutely collapsing as well. Again, just be careful with these pounds. There's nothing fundamental that I can see for the pound. So, looking at the news as well, there's nothing fundamental here that's lighting up on my screen saying the pound should be collapsing this rate. So this, I think, is just a reaction to uncertainty. Probably people offloading positions before the weekend because they don't want to hold the pound over the weekend. If Boris gets kicked out over the weekend or anything stupid like that, the pound's not going to have a good day on Monday, is it? So I think this is just positioning ahead of that. Euro CAD obviously just hit ADR as well. Really good moves going on today. Pound yen, pound New Zealand. That one hit to the upside. Beautiful reversal. Quick retest. Bang. Drop. So you've had a good half an ADR out of that one already. New Zealand dollar Swiss. Yeah, so that was the 200 today, wasn't it? Reversal. We haven't really gotten far yet. Swiss franc. So when the Swiss franc powers up, it doesn't let anything go. This has done nearly half an ADR. Not quite. 17 pips off of a 39. So you've had at least a third of an ADR out of it, but nothing to write home about, is it, unfortunately, that one. And New Zealand dollar yen. Already in this one. I've taken along on this one. I quite like this one this morning, but it's not looking as nice now. So looking at all these yens quickly. Obviously, we've had decent movement. At the moment, these look heavy. All these yens look like we've got some yen strength coming through. So just be a bit careful with these. I've got the New Zealand yen on. I'm going to hold this one, but I don't really want to take any more yen on at the minute. I'd rather be shorting it, but the New Zealand dollar yen is absolutely exhausted on the 4 hour. So this is why I've taken this one, because we've hit ADR and we are massively exhausted. So I've got the confluence of the 4 hour extension along with the ADR hit, which gives me much more confidence in the pullback on this one. So and obviously it's not far to go down to support. So that's why I like that one. Right, so that's all the ADRs covered. Rahat, pros and cons hedging same currency, for example short Aussie US and long pound odd. If you're short Aussie US and you're long pound odd, you're short the Aussie twice, so you're not hedging there. You're doubling your exposure on the Australian dollar. That's not hedging. Do you mean long? You mean short Aussie US and short pound odd? And then you would be long the Australian dollar on the pound, wouldn't you? So there is no. The pro is basically if the Australian dollar moves hard, one of them's going to win. So yeah, I mean you can do it. I just choose not to. A lot of people do. So what will happen is one trade will play out. If you went long and short on the Aussie dollar, one of them will play out and one of them won't. So you deal with the one that doesn't. So there's nothing wrong with it. You can do it. because you'll find you'll get a winner. And there is a hedging strategy for the EA on the blog for M5, but I'd probably want to hedge it in a higher time frame, to be honest. I don't really like that M5 strategy. Somebody wanted it and I built it for them. But I'm not a fan. You can get into some serious drawdown on that, which is fine. You just need to use very, 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 very small risk with those hedging strategies. Notice sometimes you open first trade manual and then attach the EA to scale out, so you only need to monitor one manual. Yeah, that's correct. So a lot of the times I will enter because obviously my goal is get in, get out. If I don't have to use the EA, brilliant. And the other reason is sometimes I notice trades where the EA has already triggered an alert and it's retested. So I can't put the EA on there because obviously it's already done the signal. So I'll enter the manual position there and then I'll monitor it. And if it then pushes down, then I'll let the EA continue for me and it will just get into positions. So that's why I do it that way. And that's what I built it for. I built the EA to help me automatically get into my positions after I'd got into them. I didn't build it as a sit on the beach, drink Mai Tais and let it trade for me system. I built it to semi-automate my life. So that's what it does. That's how I use it. Just got ADR on US dollar Swiss as well. Is that US dollar coming down? Yes, US dollar coming down a little bit more. And obviously we've had the big Swissy push. So lots of big movement going on at the minute. 175 on pound Swiss. This is also pound collapsing more. So just when you see freight trains like this, yeah, obviously you can take a reverse alert on it, but if you're going to get in again, wait for an alert, wait for some bullish price action, because the pound will easily do 225. Seen it many, many, many times. So I don't know why, but the pound is always one of those victims. As in the bootcamp, you showed drawdown control during backtest. It would be great if you can give a live explanation of drawdown control. Yeah, I can do that. I'm not going to do... Well, I've done some drawdown control on the S&P stuff. But you got to have profit. Haven't had any today. Euro pound, 200 ADR. There's examples of drawdown control on the website as well. This isn't the euro, so this is the pound. Yes, this is the pound still pushing down. Euro getting up 200. Massive extension on that. That's worth a look as well. Such a long way to the reversal. You've got to do half an ADR to actually get into the position. It's a tiny little ADR. I'm not going to bother with it. Not going to tie up my liquidity on the pound on a 29 ADR pair. I'd rather get into another pound pair. You just, if you short Aussie, I see how somebody got in line to that. Have you considered the ADR indicator to show weekly levels on the 4 hour and up? No, I haven't. Yeah, I could do that, I guess. Let me note that one down. ADR, whoops, oh, can't spell. ADR Indy. Weekly and monthly. I can do that. I can tweak that. Is it better to have a trading account with a zero spread? Pros and cons. Depends on your time frame, Harry. Zero spread, yes. You won't find one with a zero spread, to be honest. Good luck. I haven't found one. But you can get fixed spread brokers who will fix their spread for you. So that's, you can use that. But they will always charge you a commission. So I would always say, if you're trading anything above M15 time frame, forget it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who your broker is and what your spread is, really, because on M15, you're not going to get massive spreads. And if the spread is 2 to 3 times bigger than another broker, in the grand scheme of things, we're looking for a move like this. That doesn't make a massive difference. If you're on M1 or M5, then yes. the spread will make a huge difference. So I wouldn't worry too much, to be honest. Kieran Satya, you are my hero. Thank you. Not quite sure why. Rahat, for AMV recovery, how can you ride the full wave and not only half an ADR if you want to bank approximately long weight of holding? Yeah, I mean, if you want to ride the whole wave, I mean, just try not to grab the whole thing. Yeah, if you try and pick the top and the bottom, you will fail because if you're getting on a reversal alert, there's a good chance you're going to pick the bottom. It's impossible to pick the top. You just can't do it. So up here, if we're going to get into a reversal up here, you've no way of knowing if this is going to be an A-shaped recovery or whether it's going to be a pullback, right? So if you wait for the A-shaped recovery every time, you won't get them because they don't happen as often as pullbacks in trends. Big strong moves are quite often the start of a trend. If you try and bank that and it does that, it's not going to help you, is it? It's not going to work. So that's why I go for targets at support and resistance and targets at buying and selling areas. This is not a good example, but you know, these zones are often used for price bounces, aren't they? So again, targets. Just need to crack on because we need to look at the RSIs. Right, so 4 hours. We'll quickly whiz through these. Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar. Looked at this morning, massively extended. Haven't had a reversal alert on it. Big push out of these highs. If you're going to take this one, you probably had an alert on M5 now, but that's where you want to be wary of. That's where it's expected to pull back to. Very nicely extended. Euro Swiss, big push down. This is a nice long opportunity, but as I said again this morning, this is still extended, obviously, because all we've had today is that. But look at the pullbacks. This thing does not pull back far. So just be aware if you're going to take this as a long on the euro, you may only get that. So not the greatest opportunity in the world. Pound Swiss, still coming down hard, really nicely extended. This is going to have a lovely pullback when it pulls back. But at the moment, it's like a steam train. So just be wary of that one and the pound yen. All the pounds are coming down very, very hard, but very extended. So nice looking area coming up at the moment, which we drew in this morning. This is a nice support potentially hitting now. So again, if this is going to be a reaction point to go higher, brilliant. If it's not and it's going to be a pullback, fine. But good area to start looking for entries. Lots of buying pressure in here as well, so that's a good one. Pound yen. I want to short the yen, really. So I'm on New Zealand dollar yen and I'm only taking that one long. But I really want to be looking for short opportunities if possible on that one. So we'll see. But that one's really nicely extended. Not my favourite though. New Zealand dollar CAD. Beautiful bounce out of that support area we looked at this morning. So this support area goes back to the daily a long way, but this is the area that we looked at. Remember I said this morning, there's loads of support and resistance in here. You can't see it because I'm zoomed out so far, but this is where we've found lots of support and resistance in the past. We've bounced beautifully this morning. So obviously it's just started to play out now, but obviously it's not gone anywhere yet. So still very nice, very nicely extended New Zealand dollar CAD. New Zealand dollar Swiss is even better. And New Zealand dollar yen is even better still. And that's why I've chosen that one, because we are 80 extension on that one on the 4 hour. So these are all looking really, really good for longs. And New Zealand dollar, US dollar. Obviously, US dollar, we are expecting to power up. So again, be wary of longing anything against the US dollar at the moment, because when that strength does start to come in, it's just going to get hammered back down again. So just be a bit careful with US dollar longs. And the hourlies, big big strong moves on the hourlies. On euro pound, obviously still going. So 200% ADR. Again, we get to 225. When we get to 225 on this one, that is spot on with that high. So this is what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours solid up. 6 4-hour candles solid up on the hourly. This is one we looked at this morning. Tiny little breaks. We got this sell area here where we went into another accumulation and we just basically bought back out of it. So up here, this thing's coming down. This is really nice, just euro pound. What's that? 83,574. 83,577. There's nothing in it. I hate trading this because of the ADR. Oops. Just going with a bigger lot size on it. Oh, wrong one. Buy limit. Don't want to do that. Okay. It's too good. This, it's too extended. It's too nicely extended to not look at it. Pound Swiss, huge drop to the downside on that one as well. And the pound yen. These are all the same stuff we've looked at already. These are extended on the hourly, embedded on the hourly, a lot of these, and extended on the 4 hourly. Obviously, the 4 hourly is my favourite time frame. So this one's just coming down to a nice potential 72 bounce as well after this big strong move. So lots of opportunities across multiple time frames, but virtually the same as we looked at this morning, isn't it? So Kieran, for me, a reversal is nothing but a top or a bottom. That's exactly what a reversal is. Correct. That's what the reversal alert indicator is showing you. The potential top or bottom. Yeah. Not the top or bottom. It's not showing you that. It's showing you a break in market structure. That may be a temporary break in market structure. It may be a peak formation high. We don't know, do we? But it alerts you to the condition. That's what it's doing. It's signaling you to tell you that there's been a break in market structure and a retest, which forms our good old M and W reversal patterns. For H1M5, market's opening in 2 minutes. H1M5 set file, it's 1 multiply, not 1.3. It's okay to use 1.3 to bring break-even line closer. Yeah, you can. You can run it on 28 pairs. I haven't tested it on all 28 pairs. Up to you. Do testing. Go into the strategy tester, test. So whatever you want to test it. If you want to use lot multiplier, test it. See what account size you need to basically withstand whatever drawdown that is going to get you into. I would never ever trade 28 pairs. Just what you're going to do if you trade 28 pairs is you're just going to get yourself into massive drawdown and blow your account. If you trade 28 pairs, right, you're trading all the yens. So we got, how many yen pairs we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? 7 yen pairs. If all of those yen pairs suddenly go on a squeeze like this, if they all give you a 4-hour extension, this is obviously not right. Let's say they give you a 4-hour extension sell there. You get in, it goes down, you forget to get out, and it goes like that. You've got 7 pairs going into drawdown. So you have just 7 times your risk. It's not going to be good, is it? And let's say as well, at the same time, the US dollar squeezes. You've got another 7 or 8 or however many US dollar crosses there are going against you. So now that's, let's say it's 7, 14 times the risk. Yeah. It's crazy. Don't do it. 2-pair rule. You trade 2 instruments on the same currency at once. If you're position trading, if you want to use a stop loss, do what you like. Trade all 28. No problem whatsoever if you're using a stop, because you're just going to get stopped out on them and that's it. You just take a loss 7 times instead of once, won't you? That's not too much of a problem. Right. Quick look at what we're doing on futures. Just taking a loss on that dip. So basically, this is my Apex account. So I've taken a little loss this morning. I've just been playing around this morning, trying to get some movement. Didn't get any. Get chopped around. This is why people don't trade the Globex session, because you get chopped to pieces. So yeah, I've taken a couple of losses on that one this morning. I've just taken a buy down there, which is obviously we're pushing up now. So let's look at these. So just to explain this platform, this is NinjaTrader. Sorry, instead of 28 pairs, is it okay to select a minimum of 2 pairs of the same currency? Yes, perfect. Spot on. So basically, this is NinjaTrader. This is a futures trading platform. You can trade FX on it and all that, lots of stuff, but it's predominantly what futures traders use. This, or there's a couple of other platforms out there. But charting platform, the same as any other. It just obviously looks very, very different. The reason I like it as well is it's got really, really good Renko capabilities, which MT4 and MT5 obviously don't. So I like Renko for flattening out futures. It's just really, really nice. So let's have a quick look at where we are with these. Obviously, we know that we've been coming down hard on the S&P and the NAS. So this is the ES is the S&P, and NQ is the NASDAQ. So with these, basically, we know we've been selling off very, very, very hard. We've had now 4 down days on the trot on these guys. So it's massively, massively exhausted. We've got really nice buy zone here, which we've been looking at, and that high. This is what we were looking at also on the NASDAQ, and yesterday we hit it. We wicked through and got some buying rejection late on. So at the moment, all we've done is pulled down, ready to push back up again. So potentially this area is going to hold on the NAS. Potentially. So we need an up day, basically, because we haven't had one for a while. So hourly, obviously, congestion wise, I mean, it's the same on both of these. I'm looking at the ES and the NAS, but it's the same on both of these. We've got really, really big, strong selling pressure from yesterday that came in, and all the way up we've got sellers, which the buyers have got to smash through. So today we really, really need to make some headway into here and hold it to see whether or not this is going to be a continuation move down. Market's open nice and bullish. But yeah, so there's just loads and loads and loads and loads of congestion to get through on all of these. So we're just heading up to the highs at the moment. I haven't got my cursor on. That needs to be switched over to the M5. One sec. So yeah, we've got some pretty good movement on the open. So we're looking for basically breaks of highs all the way through on the NAS and the S&P today. This is very similar to obviously what we've continuously done, which is basically push up London, collapse New York, push up London, collapse New York. And this has been the repeating cycle that we've had for the last few days. So earnings wise today, we literally only had Schlumberger. I said it again. It's not Schlumberger, it's Schlumber Limited. We had Schlumber this morning. I got told off calling it Schlumberger. And that's it. So, as I say, all next week is massive, massive news. So today, I would love to see, and I want to see some decent movement on the NAS and get some strong pushes to the upside and hopefully hold some highs and finish with a positive day, because that's going to give us real good run into next week. So looking for longs, basically looking for pullbacks on longs, but this is the same as I've been doing, obviously for days. So on my CFDs, I'm just going to let those run, assuming that we push. If we break lows today, I'm going to get out of a load of that and just take a loss, because I've over leveraged on that CFD account. So I should just take some losses on those, but we'll see. But so far this morning, so far in the beginning of New York, nice opening move. So if any of you aren't familiar with Ninja, you can have as many windows as you like, and you can have tabs within windows as well, which is really nice. So you can have lots of different charts you can flick between, and obviously different instruments. So I've got the ES being monitored on the right over here, M5. It's coming close. We can see where we are. And then obviously I use the hourly chart basically to see what congestion we've got ahead, and obviously M5 for short time frame. And this is Renko. Let me just turn that off for global, actually. Make that local. Actually, let's tell you what we'll do. Let's make both of these globals. There we go. So now we can see basically, so when we go scan through the chart, we can see on the Renko where we are. So yeah, so basically we pulled it up back into these highs. So again, from a Renko perspective, that's a double top, pretty obvious. So what we're looking for now is to see whether we get an M formation, which will obviously indicate weakness today. We used to say Schlumberger. Schlumberger. So it's French, yeah? That makes sense. So that GER is J, isn't it? J. Schlumberger. J. Slumberger. I'm still going to call it that. Like I said this morning, there's certain words I've always pronounced wrong. And once you get them stuck in the back of your head, your brain can't correct it. It's Schlumberger. Anyway. So I've banked some loss this morning on this account. This is a 100k account. So not the end of the world. Only a 300 loss. So I've got basically, obviously this is a funded account. It's got a trading stop on it, which is 3k. So that's my max loss. Just realised, there we go. So we've hit that top, pulling back at the moment. So this is the opening 15 minutes. Got one more 5-minute candle, bearish engulfing going in at the moment. So indecision, which is what we've had all day today. This has just been basically sideways since we opened the day. Really nasty, choppy little session again. How about TradingView? That has Renko. Yeah, TradingView. I don't like TradingView. I just don't like it. I don't know why. I've used Ninja. I've always used Ninja when I've traded futures and stocks. So I'm just used to it. But TradingView is just as good. If you does the same stuff. The thing I like about Ninja is you can code, like I've coded the gap indicator into it, because I just don't use Ninja TradingView and haven't really got to grips with it. But I know loads of people use it. So see if we can hold this open. Looking bearish again. Look. So ES comes straight back out of that sell zone again. We've still got a bit of room down to the 200, and we haven't tapped into this area at all yet. So there is still downside from the S&P's perspective. NAS has obviously just crashed it all anyway. So today could well be a continuation down until the S&P sort of gets down to this area, which won't be good. Does anybody use TradingView still? I know there's a few people in the Telegram group use TradingView. It's very popular. The trouble with TradingView is obviously the integration. I found when I've been trading with both TopStep and other prop firms in the past that have TradingView integration, which is usually through a third party, I found it very, very flaky. Especially TraderVate's integration with TradingView, it just seemed flaky. It just kept dropping out all the time, basically. And last thing you want when you're in the middle of a quick trade is TradingView just disconnects. So this is just, I just find this is reliability, stability is what I'm after with a trading platform. TradingView is good for charting. Loads of free charting as well, which is awesome. Yeah, TradingView's obviously got coding. And they've got a desktop version now as well, which is good. But again, I use the desktop version and it's exactly the same as the web version. I'm like, well, what's the point? Just use the web version. It's the same thing. But yeah, I did use it for a while. But it's personal choice, isn't it? You get used to stuff and you stick with it. The broker integration is slow in TradingView. Just use it for analytics, yes. Gary, haven't had those issues ever. Yeah, I mean, I had those issues a lot of especially TraderVate integration with TopStep. And I know a lot of people did. But I think it's, I don't know what it was. It's probably a browser issue or something. I'm sure they fixed it. So they'd have to fix it because it was a game changer. Everybody dropped it because it didn't work. But it was early days, I think. So I'm sure they've sorted out any gremlins. Yeah, that's the nice thing Rahat's just said about the TradingView risk reward tool. That is a really good tool, that is, in TradingView. You can get versions of that for MT4 as well. People have coded versions of that for MT4. Okay, I'm just about to stop out on this one. We're just making new lows on the NAS. Not a good start, is it? Okay, so we'll see if we hold up at these lows. S&P still coming down. Again, S&P's coming down to this this strong buying area from yesterday. From this morning, that is. Which is looking like it wants to hold up at the moment. NAS obviously just taking the lows, so we'll see if those lows hold. Everything runs in a tab now, and they call it an app on TradingView. Yeah, it's good. It needs to. Okay, and going long one NAS. Got bullish rejection out of that area. Again, big whipsaw accumulation. Building up orders at the moment. Quite often we get a rotational day on a Friday as well. Hopefully we won't today. Rahat will be great if they integrate more brokers into TradingView. Yeah, they will do. I mean, it's one of the leading platforms. It's a leading web platform, isn't it? Obviously, so and it's probably the way forward. I'm just going to turn that off on this M5. Okay, lovely bullish engulfing going on the 5-minute chart. So this is our 15-minute opening range for today. And S&P. Be really annoying if they put a doji in today on dailies. If we just get rotation for the whole day, we just got this big pullback, which means obviously waiting for Monday. But hopefully we'll get a push today. Has anybody used NinjaTrader before? If you were with me before Christmas, you would have seen me using this when I was doing the evaluation. But I'm working with Renko at the moment, as I've been saying for a couple of weeks. Just from a clarity perspective, when I'm not an intraday trader. By definition of being in and out fast and shut by the end of the day, but obviously you're forced to do that with futures because you can't hold overnight. So I've been looking at a lot more Renko strategy just to give me that little bit of an edge from a clarity perspective. Yeah, so spotting double bottoms and pullback patterns is a lot easier with Renko, and it's a lot more adjustable as well. So you can fine tune it. New Zealand dollar yen much extended on the 4-hour RSI. Yeah, and that's why I got into that one. Okay, looking bullish again. Yeah, still extended. Not really gone anywhere yet. It's going to be a choppy old day, isn't it? Lots of volume, lots of chop. 76 is a good level for New Zealand dollar yen. Struggling at the lows still. Just can't get out of this accumulation area. Still within the 15-minute opening range. S&P still down at the opening range as well. Chris, I'm not trading the indices again. I'm over it now. Currency's got me the biggest win rate so far, so I'm sticking with it permanently. Yeah, good for you. Stick with what works. Steer clear of what doesn't. Okay, triple bottom on Renko. Looks like we're breaking to the lows. Not going to let this run too far. Okay, looks like just potentially poking its head out the lows. S&P still within the 15-minute range at the minute. NAS is struggling down there. Just had to hit my head hard to again to realise that. Yeah, that's what I said yesterday. Like me and gold, you trade it, it kicks you in the backside. You leave it alone for a bit. You go back to it because you've seen an indicator that looks like it works on gold, or an EA that works on gold, or you just spot a really good trade on gold and you get in, it starts to work again, kicks your backside again, and you go, nah. I remember now why I didn't trade it. And then you go back to it again. It keeps kicking your backside. So yeah, the cycle. I'll go back to gold at some point. I will go back to trading gold at some point. I did it with futures. And again, gold I could just kick my butt. So did oil. So stick to what works. NAS trying to crack back up through the lows. So is the S&P. S&P still hasn't got down. It just looks like it's going to get down now. 15-minute low. But we are in this potential support here. Hopefully they're just trying to accumulate some positions to get long. Okay, there's a proper breakdown now. if the S&P gets completely out of here, this low, I'll get out of this now. Oh, why's my P&L so far out? This happened to me before. This is the only thing I don't like about rhythmic integration with Ninja. Sometimes your P&L goes out. It's not based on commission. There's not that much commission I've done. Maybe I have. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, it's not that. I don't know. S&P struggling down here. Some buyer stepping in. If we make new lows today, and it looks like we're going to have another down day, I'm just going to stop trading because I'm not going to short this thing. I'll just take that and come back Monday when we've got some decent volume. Well, not this. We always get decent volume, but some much bigger volume coming in. Okay, decent rejection down there. S&P struggling at the lows. So that 146 level again is the key area today. We need to stay above 146. If we crack 146 today, we're going to be in big trouble. Teetering around that level at the moment. There's a lot of people calling it below 146 though. Officially in a bear market if we get down there. Who knows what's going to happen then. Long way to drop. Could go anywhere. $140. That would be bad. Okay, taking a second buy. Just ticked up on the Renko into this support. So I just want to see it get above there. H4 M15 or H1 M5? Which one to go in light of your experience? I'll show you. Well, it's up to you really. It depends on time. And it depends if you're using the EA or not. So if you're going to use the EA, it doesn't matter because you're going to let that trade for you. If you're trading manually, H1 M5 is obviously a lot more labor intensive. You've got 24 hourly candles in the day. Therefore, there's potentially 24 checks you've got to do. If you're trading H4, obviously there's a lot less. 6. So just going to sell out of one of those. Hang on a second. No, it's closing one out. No, closing both. I'm flat. That's coming down again today, I reckon. So yeah, with H4M15, obviously you've got less time frames to check, less times to check. So I would say if you're starting, that's better. You're going to get less opportunities. On H1M5, you're going to get a lot more opportunities. But I've got the EA running on H1M5 quite nicely on 1 second. Where's the... There we go. So you've probably seen the signal I've got, yeah? On MQL5. So that's running off of here. Sorry, 1 sec. Just can't see how much I've got on the screen. There we go. So this is the H1M5. Yeah, H1M5. Let's check which one it was. H1M5 strategy this month. Done 5% so far. So H1M5 on quite conservative settings is generating somewhere between 5 to 7% roughly a month. H4M15 has done 8 this month. This is the pullback, H4M15 pullbacks, trend pullbacks. That's done 8 this month so far. And this is a test I'm running on H4M15 with COT bias. That's done 6% this month. All rough, drawdown is there or thereabouts. These are running on 10 or running on 10k accounts. So there's not actually a lot in it profit wise, because the H1M5 you're getting in and getting out fairly quick with smaller targets. H1M15 the trades tend to take longer to play out. So up to you. If you're using the EA, obviously, but if you're doing it manually, as I say, it's down to personal preference. You're not going to get a massive amount of difference, to be honest. Unless you overexpose yourself, in which case then obviously what you're going to do is potentially get a lot more profit, but you're also going to make your potential risk a lot higher. So hopefully that sort of answers the question, but it's really a personal choice. There's people that are trading daily and hourly. And there's crazy people out there trading M15, M1. I don't know how they're doing, but So we've got breakdown out of the lows, M15 on S&P and NAS again. So potential, we could get the opposite to what we had for the last 2 days. So the last 2 days, basically, we've had London push, New York collapse. Potentially today, we could have New York collapse, London push. So let's see. We have already put a decent downside in on the daily today, though. I mean, we'd already put a nice wick in when we opened. Obviously, we're just pushing it back down again. So wick down and crack up would be absolutely lovely. Go from a red to green day. We'll see. But you see what I mean about market? If you were here the other day when I was talking about Renko and how it makes market structure so easy. Yeah, so easy to spot market structure, reversals, 1 bar pullback. That's a good signal, that. 2 bar pullback, continuation signal. So if you're learning market structure, you can, in MT4, if you get offline Renko charts, you can stick the market reversal alerts indicator onto Renko charts and it will do the same thing, but it will just obviously simplify price action for you. Possible double tops on Aussie New Zealand M15. Aussie New Zealand. Yep. And again, obviously, with the futures markets, you also have access to the Forex on here as well. I haven't got it with the feed that I've got, but you can get it on here. So if you wanted to trade Renko with this, with Forex pairs, you can do that. But you can also see pound US dollar, euro US dollar, and all the other major crosses as well. So 6B basically is pound US dollar, which is the pound, basically it's the pound futures contract, but it mimics the pound US dollar. If you are so inclined. When NAS is on your side, it will take you places, Harry. Yeah. When all the indices are on your side, as I say, indices are hard to get wrong when we're in a bull market, which is we're in a bull market 80% of the time. It's when we're in a bear market like this, it becomes difficult because as soon as you start shorting that bear market, it flips and goes long, and you just end up losing your pants. Obviously, if the bear market continues, I will lose my pants as well. But anyway, but I'm over-leveraged, massively over-leveraged on CFDs. Because as I say, I got into NASDAQ and the S&P at the same time, which I never do. And I honestly don't know why I did it. Because I was in here and I was decided to trade both because we were looking at both, which is crazy. Trade one or the other. Okay, got a double top put in at support and resistance. Look at this. Renko's so nice for stuff like this, look. It's the most easy thing in the world to spot support and resistance with. It's lovely. So, candle, brick above there. Up. Brick below there. Market structure continuation. Double top. But look how hard that is to spot here. Yeah. So it's just could you easily spot that support resistance there and that double top? It's not, is it? I would highly recommend it if you're learning market structure. I wonder if the band Green Day is named after the bullish candle. I don't think so. Green Day. I don't know what they're named after. Do you think they used to be traders? The band adopted the name Green Day due to the members' fondness for cannabis. No, they weren't traders. No. There you go. For spending days doing nothing but smoking marijuana. While trading. Obviously. Green Day. We are still struggling at this area. We've gone into a small accumulation at the lows on the NAS. Remember this 46 level here. Yesterday's low was bang on 46. So this is today's big big area. The reason I'm hanging around is if we get some bullish price action off of here, I'm going to take some longs. See if we can get that reversed. Or at least reduced. Still got a fair bit of drop to go yet. S&P putting in new lows on the day. Again, coming down into this area. So this is, if we do get it down today, this is 5 down days on the trot. How about Meatloaf? RIP, yeah. RIP Meatloaf today. Many trader have said it's moving like a bat out of hell. Okay, 146 broke. Wow. See what we get down here. Euro pound also possible double tops. ADR 125 on New Zealand dollar yen now. Just tapped. Euro pound, just give me my stop up on Euro pound. Stop order. Wow. Mission. This is pound, I'm assuming weakness. Yeah, still some pound weakness coming through. Not too bad though. This looks like some euro strength coming through at the same time. Yeah. A little bit of euro strength as well. It's a combination of both. But that looks great now, that euro pound. Over 200 ADR. And New Zealand dollar Swiss as well. Still coming down. Good for short that. Again, probably not going to play out till Monday. So heading for it. When it gets there, it's going to be a good one to short. I removed my messages because the force in the euro is strong. Use the force, euro. EN pushing up towards peak high again. Again? Relentless. Yeah. We are still holding that, this level from the daily. See on the 4 hour if we zoom out a bit more. This area is strong in the force. So, we didn't quite get to it. We were so close. It looked to me like it was a hit, really, but maybe not. Maybe they want to come and properly test it. We'll see if we get some sell action coming in up there. But yeah, it's big, strong. Strong euro. Uncharacteristically strong. Okay, 146 is holding at the moment. I'm going to take a buy at 146, just above. This could be just basically a retest. So we're just testing this 146 level for a second time. So if this is going to hold, if this is going to be the bottom, today's going to be a rocket, potentially. Big round numbers. Market loves them. Becomes difficult to trade when you've got this much movement down, because I've got no areas on the chart really to act as zones to trade out of. You know, when you're pushing and you're pulling back, always got areas. Same, it obviously works the same in reverse. Yeah, so we've got areas to trade out of, and when we're buying, we've got areas to trade out of. When you get to these lows where we haven't had these lows for such a long time, there's no clues to the left. So you can only really go on price action and market structure breaks, and it's a lot harder when you've got a bear market on the indices, or bear market on anything really, when it's been such a long time running. It's very, very difficult to get entries anywhere near bottoms. Just got to be very careful, because if it does come down again, you know, you can end up sitting here trying to buy the bottom for days and days and days and days, and just chipping and chipping and chipping away. So you just have to call it at some point. If it breaks 146, very difficult to call where we're going next. A potential double bottom there, which is just under 144. It's a long way to go. I thought you used to be able to have price markers on those. Doesn't seem to do it now. Okay, looking to break down again. S&P still pushing. So what do we reckon next week? Are we going to go up next week? Or are we going to see some kind of crazy market crash happening? And if so, why? Fundamentals are not pointing in that direction, but I guess we're going to find out if all the earnings for everybody starts coming out negative next week. We know there's something wrong. Doesn't that pattern on the NAS from October until now look like a massive head and shoulders? So I'm just, because I need to exit this position. Not really. Just going to sell that position off. Give it to 60. Get rid. Gone. Head and shoulders is got to have a clearly defined head. I can't see a head and shoulders in there. Not a clear one anyway. Need 3 peaks. 3 distinguishable peaks on head and shoulders. But again, you know, I don't like chart patterns very much. I spot them after they've played out. But the reason I don't like them is because exactly what you've just said there, Chris. Everybody can see different patterns. You give 10 people the same chart and tell them to pick head and shoulders, you won't get the same thing drawn necessarily. I mean, if you picked a chart and said to 10 people, draw me a head and shoulders on that chart, I wonder how many of them, if there wasn't one even visible there, would actually just try and draw one in. You can mold it in any way, shape or form, but I like clear. If it's going to be a pattern, it's got to be really clear to me. You know, like 3-bar reversal patterns, everything. Just the clarity. It needs to jump out at you and go, right, that's a 3-bar reversal. Down, hammer, up. That's a textbook. If it's not textbook, it's I don't like trading them. I've never been keen on patterns. I tried trading all sorts of patterns, Gartley's and harmonics, all sorts of stuff, and ABC patterns and things. They all work really well, but it's all market structure. It's the same stuff. It's market structure. ABC pattern is just market structure, and ABC patterns fail as much as market structure does. You know, it's all the same. It goes in one direction and turns around when it wants to turn around. You don't know when it's going to turn around. The more you try and pick tops and bottoms using harmonics and those sorts of patterns, the more difficult it becomes, because they fail so much and they make you cross when they fail because they should work. Head and shoulders on Renko. Again, pattern recognition. It's not a clear one. I can't see a clear one there at all. If price was coming up from here, that would be a clear head and shoulders. Neckline break. Entry short. But price was not coming up from here. Price was coming down into a consolidation. Head and shoulders is a reversal pattern, so it's got to have a trend up first. Okay, got some bullish price action coming in on the NAS. Rejections coming in on the S&P. It's too deep. We're coming into this area where we started buying on the daily. This is quite old though. You know, this is October. But we had this nice accumulation and push from there, so potentially this could be it. If we break back above 146, I might have one more go at a long and then try and build a position long. Assuming we're going to just stick in a red to green day. There's that green day again. Obviously, that's why they named themselves. They have to come up with something. If they really were traders Green Day and they named themselves because they had green days, it's not very cool, is it, as a band? So you want to come up with something better than that. So smoking marijuana all the time is probably a much better way of naming your band than saying, actually, I was a trader and I liked green days. But who knows? Could be anything, can it? Research says that if the Dow on Friday cannot close above Thursday, then Monday will likely be a down day. What research is that? Is that just statistical, back-tested statistical data? There's lots of that. There's lots of that around. So yeah, let's hope that's not true. Let's hope we get a green day today. There's lots of. There's a company, I can't remember the name of them, that publishes data on the DAX. And it's all that sort of information. So if this happened, then historically that will happen, etc., etc. The same as my ADR research that I did 42% of the time we break out of ADR. 58% of the time we stay within ADR. There's loads of that data you can go and research yourself or find online and use it as an edge. Yeah, so you can do that. If Friday Dow closes down below Thursday, Monday's a down day. So basically, as soon as you see a pop on a Monday, short it. Do that every Monday, and you'll likely have a statistical edge that you can play out. Loads of that around. It's good. Trader Tom. Never heard of him. Trader Bob. Trader Lee. I was trying to buy the bottom on Wednesday and gave up. Need to see some bullish momentum before getting in again. My last entry on NAS was 1 ADR away. Break even is now 2 ADR. Yeah, don't get too aggressive on this. I'm buying again. We've broken back above 146, so I'm going to use 146 as my line in the sand. We've just broken the highs. We've got a 3-bar reversal going in. This is potentially just a pullback to the 15-minute opening range. So monitor this, but bullish price action, finally. I saw some idiot on Bloomberg talking about a 50% drop, and I thought it was so irresponsible, giving people reason to panic. Talking heads. This is one of the reasons I turned off Bloomberg when I remember I said yesterday, when I was trading stocks, I had Bloomberg and we were talking about subscriptions to TV channels and stuff. I used to subscribe to Bloomberg. You'll be amazed how much impact it has on you. If there's a guy comes up on the screen who has been working for Bloomberg for years and says, this is going to happen, that is going to happen, you will be influenced by that. And this is why we have news spikes. When news comes out, when there's a talking head on and they say something, the market reacts. And it's 90% of the time, it's a knee-jerk reaction. And all it is retail's getting in long and then going the other way. And I just think a lot of these talking heads have got their fingers in pies. So they're going to come on, they're going to say something they know is going to rally the market, and they're short it. Because the rally will end and they'll get in. They know when to get in, don't they? Because they're manipulating the market with their words. And I think Bloomberg is very, very similar. And again, it comes back to that thing we were talking about with the crowd mentality. The sheep, the cows sitting down at the same time type thing. You know, when we see something happen, we follow it. I just hit the buy button there because the bulls are stepped in. But we all do it. That's the way the market works. When you see bullish price action and you go long, you see a pullback and then a break again, you get in long again. You're doing what everybody's doing, and it makes it happen faster. But yeah, saying something's going to drop 50%, I mean, for the market to drop 50%, that's got to be a catastrophic set of earnings next week. Don't forget, this is index linked. This is linked to the stock market. Yeah. So what we're saying is, Amazon, Google, everybody next week that's got earnings, they're all going to come out and go, we lost an absolute ton. American Express, GE, Microsoft, Tesla, Intel, Boeing, AT&T, McDonald's. McDonald's never lose money. Apple. It's going to take a catastrophic amount of these guys to have bad earnings quarters to drop it. Alibaba, absolutely massive. People don't realize how big Alibaba is. If you buy or sell anything tangible, 90% of it's come through Alibaba. If you buy anything on Amazon, it's come from Alibaba. Google, you know, I would be very, very, very surprised if we get much more than a couple of percent drop next week. I just missed an entry. I'm not going to chase it. Yeah, I am. Just coming up to the tops, highs. We're just breaking through this support resistance. That entry that I just missed, by the way, was a 1 bar pullback. That was the entry there. I got in 1 brick too late. Back within 15-minute opening range on M5. My P&L is miles out. Look at this. Oh, I've got that set up, you idiot. Sorry. I'll sort that out in a minute. That's measuring ticks, not money. This is a new NinjaTrader installation. You can change that to monitor money. I thought that was monitoring money. It's not. No wonder I was thinking, why am I going so much into drawdown? I will change that. What's your TP targets for the NAS? Up, high as we can go. Haven't got a TP target specifically. First target is higher day, obviously. So higher session rather, 15-minute range. So I'll probably take one off up there. But you know, I'm expecting the NAS to make new highs at some point in the not too distant future. So target, I mean today's target, because this is futures obviously, today's target, don't know. I mean, it'd be nice to get this back down flat, but it's unlikely. So we'll just see where we go. But I'm expecting a red to green move today. So this red candle here to turn green. So lows of yesterday, so maybe 14. I mean, I'd like to get halfway through that candle. So 14,500 ultimately, but somewhere around the 14.9 would be good. Sounds much like Elon. Mr. Musk and his manipulation. Only took Netflix and Peloton to trigger this sell-off. It wasn't just Netflix and Peloton, but that did not help at all. Yeah, I mean, big losers. Obviously, the massive gainers in lockdown, Netflix and Peloton. No one could go to the gym, so they all bought a Peloton. No one could go out, so they all binged everything on Netflix. We can now go to the gym and we can now go out. So Netflix and Peloton turned off. And Peloton entered the NAS and it's looking like it's going to exit the NAS just as quick. Like I said this morning, Peloton is now below its IPO. So it'll be dropping out the NAS and be replaced at some point shortly. Unless they can come up with something dramatic to change their fortunes. How did I get the P&L to show on top? This, it's just a window. Just an account data window. Magic. The Bloomberg story you were talking about, Chris, yes. Sounds much like Elon, yeah, so it's a whole social thing. Yeah, that's why I don't follow socials. I'm not on Twitter. I post on Facebook every now and again, but you see, I'm not social. I am social, but I don't go on social. Because you just get abuse on social constantly. And if you follow anybody like stock twits and stuff on Twitter, 90% of that is just noise. And it just defocuses you. If Elon tweets and the market crashes, I can't do anything about it. So I'll find out about it in the news. I'm interested in fundamental news, so I follow Forex Factory and I keep an eye on the news feed multiple times a day there. But apart from that, not interested in social stuff. Just skews your view, I find a lot of the time. How did you get the P&L? I'll just answer that. Euro pound entry got triggered. Cool. Mine hasn't. If you're on M5, I've still not got an alert on that personally, but lovely. Want to break that. The problem with this entry as well is obviously you're selling straight into an accumulation support. Selling into support is never a good idea, but it is shot. And we've got up here, I've loved that to get up there before I get in, but we'll see. Trying to look for another entry at the moment. So broken another new high there. Next level's up there. Big move that, 116 point move up. Nice. Looks like Euro is coming down. Yeah, we want that Euro New Zealand to come down, don't you? Yeah, that's nice. Although it is really just an accumulation, but that we need to break this, break the London lows today. I think you'll be all right on that. It'd be lovely if this red line here is that daily control candle that I drew in weeks ago. If we can break down below that daily control candle today, get a big sell-off on the euro down to there, that thing is coming down like a house of cards. I just can't see it getting all the way down there today. We've got to put in, from where we are now, we need to put in an ADR move to the downside. But it might happen. It's Friday. Anything can happen on Friday. I always find this. Anything can happen on Fridays. The market goes crazy on Fridays a lot of the time. Big sell-offs. You got the alert, did you, Diamond? Yeah. Okay, so you've got the alert. Yeah. Do it. Trade your own charts. All brokers are going to be ever so slightly different due to spread, time zones, all sorts of stuff. So you trade your charts. If you get an alert, you've got an alert. Market has shifted on yours, and we're looking at M15 time frame, so we are still looking at quite choppy price action. So okay, a little bit of a pullback on the NAS and the S&P, back within the 15-minute range. I'm going to take one off. Reduced a bit of P&L and add back on when we start getting a bit of buying action coming in. Assuming we are going to get some buying action coming in, obviously this is potentially pullback continuation. Still, we will see. Okay, so we've got a gap formed here, which we're just retesting at the moment. If we get some another bit of price action out of that, I'll take another long up there. got to be positive. Got to assume that we are going to go red to green today and get an update. There we go. Got another tick up. Take another position. Come on, Naz. Let's get some movement. Danger today is obviously just going into rotation, like I said, sticking a doji in. Be horrible if they do, but S&P just retesting 15-minute opening range again. Euro odd and the NAS, the New Zealand yen haven't gone anywhere yet. Still chopping around a bit. Still holding the 15-minute range on the S&P. Now it's just getting into a bit of consolidation. Okay, here we go again. Let's see if we can get another push. NAS has rejected the lows. S&P's rejected the lows. What's everybody got planned for this weekend? Anything exciting? Obviously having 2 corona victims in the house at the moment. We're going nowhere. I should be investing in Netflix. Possibly Hulu. And Disney Plus this weekend. Anybody doing any extreme sports or anything exciting? Apart from fishing. Doesn't count. Just holding mid-range here at the minute on the NAS. Bit of a tussle going on this buy area. Chris, I'm going to do all my chart planning and work on a dev project. Cool. Commitment to the trade. Chart planning. Fun. That's one of the reasons I trade H4 majority of the time, because there's just so much less time involved in looking at stuff, and why I made the dashboards. Dashboards are there to make things super simple. Still in consolidation, accumulating positions, waiting for the next move. Critical point again, moving up or down from here. So we've had the sell-off, we've had the push. We're now accumulating for the next move. Which way are we going to go? Pete's playing extreme golf. What's extreme golf? Do elaborate. Have you got like forecast sideways rain and 50-mile-an-hour winds and you're going to go out and try and play golf? Or is there something else to it? Playing a links course in Scotland during a hurricane. That's extreme golf. Haven't actually tried it. I've tried golf. I'm awful at golf. How the hell you hit that tiny little ball with that whacking great long stick? No idea. I actually didn't get too bad at it in the end, but just it's one of those games that frustrates people, I think, isn't it? It frustrates me. You go up, you suddenly have a really good game, and you're like, I've cracked golf, and the next game, you're dead. Awful. You've got to be a special kind of dedicated to be a golfer. Okay, starting to tick up a little bit on the NAS. S&P's holding 15-minute range. Golf in hot weather, even better. Golf without sunblock, extreme golf. Okay. Stepping in bullish at the moment on the NAS. Last buy is here, so I'm not going to add on this push, but if we break these highs and pull back slightly, I shall get another position in here, assuming that we're going to go for this break of the 15-minute and get our green day. Beer helps. Beer helps with everything. Oh, that's a good point. I'm putting beer in the fridge. Glad you said that. I've got spin class at 5 o'clock. And my beer is sitting in the cupboard. Needs to get in the fridge. It's Friday. Chris, fishing is an extreme sport. If you walk to the beach, climb over so many rocks to go and get clams and red bait from the rocks with all fishing gear on your back, yeah. You can make anything into an extreme sport if you make it really, really hard for yourself. That is true. Nice push on the NAS, challenging the 15-minute highs. Tried golf, but I would usually hit the big ball first. Do you know? Yeah. There's a video I saw a while ago, actually. You know, on the golf course, you get those big white balls at the tees of some drunken idiot trying to hit one of those and realising they're actually made of metal and concreted into the floor. And the vibration he got off the club and his reaction was hilarious. Yeah, your golf club is either going to snap or it's going to vibrate so hard it's going to hurt. Breaking those highs. So I've got two positions long, 2 contracts long at the moment. So looking for break of the 15-minute high. If we can break the 15-minute high, I'll wait for a pullback, take another position, and we will be we have already gone red to green. Red to green moves, we like them. S&P challenging 15-minute highs, running into this final accumulation before the drop. Looks like it's going to make it. Oops. Stalling out a little at the top. Pop straight into those highs. Okay, 148 looks like it's a lot of sellers up there. Nearly through. Strong area, this. Looks like we're getting through. Maybe not. Getting ready to sell one here. If we get a down candle on the Renko, I'm just going to sell one off just in case we are going to double top and go into a consolidation here. Looks like that might be the case. So the other beauty of trading Renko, I'm not hitting that button until we get confirmation. So there we go, we've got confirmation. So selling one. Just going to let one ride. So waiting for a pullback, potentially for next leg up. So market structure. Pullback, push. Anywhere, any pullback into this area, obviously here. We got no new propulsion gaps formed apart from this one here. So obviously this is already been tested. May come back down and retest that area. We've got a wick here, obviously, and wick there. So if this candle closes, we've got 2 minutes left on this candle. If this candle closes like this, we're going to get a new propulsion gap formed there. So pull back potentially into that area and buyers push on through. 182. 1482 rather. S&P stalled at the highs again. Really struggling, the buyers at the moment. It's just not. This is day after day after day of massive strength and no follow through. Just getting trampled on. But today could be the day, finally. Okay, I'm going to take one more buy on a break of resistance, if we get it. My average is 14,724. I've only got one position on, haven't I? 14,724. So that's my line in the sand, basically, down here. This high. So if we get back down to this high, if we do pull back down to there, I'll scratch that last position. Sit on a $400 loss, but hopefully we're going to get a run to the moon. So S&P, if we crack this high today, we've got a couple of areas to try and get through, which were very strong sell-offs. Which, I mean, this whole area is obviously a sell, but these two big zones, well, that's not a big zone, this one here really is the key. If we can crack that and then pull back out of that zone and push, we should be good to go today. But it's Friday. We haven't got long. A couple of hours and we'll be done. Don't get a lot of movement on Friday afternoons. Where are we now? 4 o'clock. So hour and a half into the session. Just so you know, I just use a standard ticket here, basically, to get in to trade. So we're just pulling down again. It is more exciting trading futures, isn't it? I think it's that thing where you've got to get out today. I think that's what makes it a bit more interesting and exciting to trade, because you've got that timer looming over your head where you need price to get to certain areas by certain times. Whereas when you're trading CFDs, which you can hold overnight, obviously you've got as long as you want to hold it for. Does add that little edge to it. And obviously the fact that you can make an awful lot more money in futures very, very quickly with an awful lot more risk, obviously. So, which is why everybody goes to prop firms, because if you do this with your own money, it's a hell of a lot more risky. NAS is holding up well. S&P is holding up well. Still inside bar at the moment. This last green push up, still haven't cracked that low. Same with the S&P. So we're just trading inside bars at the moment, accumulating positions. Although the NAS looks like it's starting to come down. Still got 4 minutes left on this candle though. It's a new candle. Okay, NAS and S&P both coming down now. Get ready to scratch this. Break even. Okay, pushing back up. Buyers still stepping in. Got 1 minute left on this candle. Okay, I want to see a break above this M here. So I want to see a break back above that neckline. Somewhere up in that area. And then that would potentially be, hopefully, end of the pullback. One more block. Bullish engulfing starting to paint on S&P. We're off again. Take another bite. So average is now 147.57. So there. So just below that blue line is now my average of those two positions. Looking for a break of the highs, which we just rejected. Third attempt. Again, keep going on about these 3-bar reversals, but yeah. Think of it like a not hockey. American football post is a 3-bar reversal, yeah? That's what you want to see. Come flying down, screech to a halt, reverse back the other direction. Although that would have been much nicer if it was that. Okay, attempting new highs. S&P is attempting new highs. Coming up to its first potential sticking point. If we smash that, we are off for the day. I'm sure we were going to get a decent green day today if we can crack that level, but struggling at the minute. Really struggling. Story of our lives, isn't it, this week? Okay, another attempt. The highs. Really do not want to crack that 14,820 on the NAS, do they? Okay, another 3-bar reversal. Although 3-bar reversal patterns should be at lows, they are still a bullish pattern. But when you see them at highs or in ranges, they're a lot less effective. So same as hammers and shooting stars. If you see a hammer or a shooting star forming mid-range, yeah, 3-bar reversal hammer, yeah. If you see them forming mid-range, like here, yeah, there's a good example of one there. Doesn't mean anything. It just means there was some buying and some selling. When you see them at the extremes after a move, that is the sign of a move ending. So you need to pick your patterns in the right places to give them relevance. Just because one appears doesn't mean, as you can see, doesn't mean it's going to take off. But it's more likely to take off if you've just sold off or had a buying rally. Stuck in a 20-minute accumulation at the minute at these highs. Oh, if we can pop them. It's going to be like a... I'm trying to think of something to explain it. Popping something that explodes. Excuse me. All I can think of is a zit. That's disgusting. But as soon as you get through these levels where there's tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of selling pressure coming in with tight stops and they break, we get usually an explosive candle. Especially after you've knocked on the door 3 times like we have at the minute. 4th time's a charm. You get through it and then we're looking for that strong push pullback continuation. If we can get through. And again, hopefully this is just the market accumulating positions here to squeeze it. Okay, zit reference again. A grape, that's a good idea. Grape. Yeah. That's more of a splat than an explosion though. But yeah, you get the point. Struggling. 2 minutes left on this candle. Still closing it as an inside bar at the minute. Okay, I'm scratching it. So I've gone flat there on that one. See if we get another retest down here. We are still potentially looking to leg up, but don't like this top. This is holding really well. Don't want to get stuck in drawdown and just sit in one of these sideways days. Obviously, I can't sit in drawdown here. This is a problem. So we've got to close it. Okay, bearish engulfing there now. Okay, we have got a decent level there as well. So that's where we initially came down to, and we've stalled that a couple of times. So might use that for a break above to get into the next position. I have one more go at these highs. If we don't crack these highs, I'm going to call it a day. I think we're going to go into rotation and just sit sideways today, which will give us kind of a big doji candle. Well, it's still going to be bullish, but it's not going to be a very big body. So good signs of rejection though. Lots of sellers trying to push price back down again. The buyers winning out today. So we are starting to see that buying pressure starting to come in, but it's not convincing, is it, at the moment? Still. Next week is going to be better, yeah. But we get a good... we've had a decent amount of momentum. Last 2 days, we've had some seriously good moves in the last 2 days to the upside. You know, so we have had 2 good rallies. We just haven't managed to hold or sustain any buying pressure. So if today closes as a positive, this is the first day out of 5 that we've actually managed to do that. So again, looking at it from that perspective on the daily chart, That's what we're painting now. We're painting this. Go back in time, you see that playing out over and over and over again as a bottom. So, but look, it's just sideways today, isn't it? This area up here, we haven't even got to. Looking like we want to have another go. So we didn't put in a new low. Just cracked highs again. So I'm going to go one more high, one more long. See if we can have another run at it. I'll stop out 47.35 below that level. So we're looking for 48.20 basically is where we want to get, and that will be a break. Come on, let's get a push. This is the other thing that I don't like about futures is the fact that you have to watch the charts this intensely all the time. When you're trading, you literally have this multi-hour window where you've got to make it. And it just causes over trading, I find, a lot of the time. The amount of times I've traded futures and ended up with a break-even day with a ton of profit in the bank, eaten by commission. Because you just end up hitting the buy button and the sell button far too many times. But Nas just made a nasty retest of that level. Yeah. We're trying very, very, very hard up here to get through. With last 25 minutes, we've been trying to knock on this door at the 1820 level. The 80-20 levels tend to be very strong for some reason. I'm not quite sure on the mathematics, the logistics behind the 80-20 levels, but they do tend to hold up very well. 80-20s. I'm not quite sure what it is. But look there again, look, this wick here. That's the 80 level. And then previously there, the 80 level. So it's weird. Okay, we broke through. We're finally through. Well done. Well done, Naz. Well done, S&P. Treat them like dogs. Good boy. Right, Naz, S&P now coming up into that initial sell zone. Finally getting a break, potentially. So let's hope this holds. If it holds, we're off. But we're off into the sellers. So not going to be an easy run. Wish I'd have taken that contract off down there. Look at that. Stopped me out exactly where we turned. Never mind. Let's have a quick look at where we potentially can get to today. From a daily perspective, halfway through that candle would be perfect. So that's around 950, bit less maybe, don't know, 940. So I think 940 today would be an achievable target. Maybe 950, probably best to round it up. So let's go 950. That's probably going to get me just into profit for the day up there if we can crack that level. S&P's going nicely though, so I'm just going to hold it until we get some bearish price action coming through, but that looks pretty good. Good strong move at those highs, finally broken. So I'm just typing a Word document someone sent me. Whoa, that's big. So just sent me something in Telegram. Hang on. I haven't got it installed on here. That's right. Don't know if you're in here, Ian, but the ADR indicator, he's asking basically about the ADR indicator, what he's doing wrong, because the ADR high is below the ADR low. If you get an ADR, 200% ADR move like this, obviously the lines adjust dynamically based on highs. So these ADR lows will be dragged up as price pushes up. And the same as when price pushes down, the ADR high gets dragged down, because what it's doing is it's measuring that distance from the low point and the high of the day, so that we know that if we push down and up, that is an ADR move. Yeah. So these lines, when you get to 200%, which obviously doesn't happen very often, the lines intersect. So I don't know if you're in here, Ian, but that's why. It's totally normal. It's just that we don't normally get 200 ADR days, obviously. Euro New Zealand's still hovering. Let's have a quick look at the FX stuff while we're here. Euro pound. Haven't got in yet still. Accumulation. Yen accumulation. There's nothing moving FX wise at the moment. It's all look at that flat session for FX. Totally within London range across the board. Dead session. It's because they're all trading stocks. Euro odds coming down ever so slowly. Euro Swiss, glad I got out of that. Looks like that's starting to bottom out now. Yeah. Dull. Okay, coming back to retest. The highs. So this is obviously the 15-minute opening range. Opening range high. So this is an opening range breakout retest. Potentially. And obviously the breakout retest can come way back within. The second break above is really the big one. It can wick in and wick out. But obviously all we're looking for is buyers to take control, sellers to try and pull it back, buyers to regain control. That tends to be the start of your move up for the day. Jason, I'm in short on euro pound. Can I hold it over the weekend? Yeah, hold it over the weekend. If you want to. I mean, yeah, I do. I hold everything over the weekend. Not in futures because I can't, but in FX, yeah, I hold everything over the weekend. Gaps. People don't like to hold over the weekend because they're worried about gaps. We don't get them much at weekends anymore. It takes a big event, a catastrophic disaster of some description to give you a big enough gap to make you worry. If you're position trading, obviously, if you're getting in with fairly big lot sizing, like if you're getting in with 1% risk on an individual trade, you might want to think twice about it, because a 3% drop on something is going to hurt. But I hold everything over the weekends. Things are moving in slow motion, like watching snails with firearms. Worms. I was playing Worms the other day. Actually, I was playing Lemmings the other day as well. You have to be quite old to remember Lemmings, but yeah. Snails with firearms, that's a good one. Long sketches of boredom with moments of excitement. Stretches of boredom. Yeah, this is what trading is. Long stretches of boredom. Okay, wicks off to the upside. On this candle at the moment, got 2 minutes to close. If we can get a green candle here, I would class that as the opening range breakout retest, and potentially the start of our grind. I can't see. This is not as explosive. The initial break was nice and explosive, but it's not as explosive as I was hoping it was going to be. So I think we may well have a nice grindy move up. But a move up nevertheless. Maybe Russia will invade somewhere over the weekend. Yeah, that is very probable. Not probable, but it's a possibility, isn't it? Amassing 100,000 troops on the border. Yeah, we're just doing exercises. Yeah, right. We could do without a conflict with Russia. For all parties involved, because we would obviously be involved in it. NATO would be involved in it. Everyone would be involved in it. And then China will get in Russia's pocket, and that's World War III. China and Russia against the world. It's a pretty fair fight, that, I think. Anyway, let's not doom ourselves. Let's hope that doesn't happen. But yeah, that's going to crash the markets for sure. That's a blown account. If you're holding over the weekend, that is. As long as the indices can hold their ground today. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm hopeful for a green day today. It's looking more positive than previous days. The other days we've had, I'm going to have to go in a minute because I've got to go to a class. But the other days we've had this was a push up in Asia and London, and then New York came in and stomped it straight away. Then we had the same thing. We had that little push up in London. New York came in and stomped it. Today has been the opposite. Like I said earlier at the start of the stream, today New York came in, dropped it, and pumped it. So this is much more positive price action from the New York side of things. So hopeful today we'll get it, but we've still got time. For them to do whatever they want. We're just retesting again now. Look. Just this accumulation here. We shouldn't break this accumulation, which is this area down to 147.28. So I can't even see 147.28. It's that area there, really. So yeah. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hold this position. And target 149.500. So I'm going to go for the 149.50 today. I'm going to put a sell limit up there. And get out up there. So that should pretty much get me flat for the day. probably a little bit of profit, which I'm happy with that today, considering the drop we had, and I had to drop 700. So if I can get back to a break-even day, it's a good day. And then next week, hopefully we can just assume long all day and just buy the dips. And if we can have a nice, what we're used to, the runs. Yeah, we're just used to, the dips. We know about the dips. Then we get the runs. This is where we make our money in the runs. Sometimes the dips are worse than expected, but this is what next week with the earnings, there's no reason why this today cannot be start the next push. Some decent movement. But let's get today done first. Let's get a green day. Right, I've got to shoot, guys, because I've got a class at 5 o'clock. So I'll be back on Monday morning at 8:30 as usual. And let me know if you want to do more futures in the group. Just come into the Telegram group if you like watching the futures stuff. If you want to do more Forex stuff and continue doing the CFD stuff, happy to do that as well. I just want to use this Apex account because I haven't been using it. I've got 100 grand sitting there. Although it's not really 100 grand, is it? I've got 3 grand because I've only got 3 grand drawdown limit. But so let me know what you want to do. Obviously, strategy on this is very simple: buy the dips. But obviously, I'll be back on Forex on Monday morning as normal. So give us a thumbs up if you like the stream. And if there's anything you need, come into the Telegram group. I will be in there over the weekend as well. So any questions you've got, obviously, feel free to pop in. But I'm going to let that one run. I will also put a stop on it down there as well. So obviously if we get down here, I don't want to take any more loss today. Not a lot. I'll take a bit, but that's going to be a break below these levels. So that's the plan for today. Either we're going to get a rotation day and come back into here, or I'm going to hit target. So all right, so have a great weekend, whatever you're doing, and I will be back Monday at 8:30. And we'll do an analysis of the week. We've got FOMC next week. We've got earnings coming out of our ears next week. So it's going to be a big, old, volatile week next week. Lots of money-making opportunities. Loads set up today as well on the 4-hour RSI extensions as well, don't forget. So they will all start to play out next week as well. So should be a really good week next week. We just need these indices to pop. And across the board, we're going to make some dough. So have a good one. I'll be back Monday 8:30 and hopefully see you then.